All right, listen, I'm your host, SG, and welcome to the DFC. We got DFC 2 ahead of us, the second ever pay-per-view. And listen, man, with all due respect, I made every single thing in this video that you're seeing, so make sure you like and subscribe. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get things started inside the hybrid division. Slow versus Ghosty to start things off, Kai versus Nasty the next fight, Ren versus Cap, and Soy versus Curse to end off the prelims. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tail to tape of the first fight, man. All right, so right here we got Slow versus Ghosty. This is supposed to be a medium fight. However, it's moved to hybrid, which means that he's going to be giving up 75% of any rewards he receives from this fight to Ghosty, who actually showed up with the correct weapon for the division. Because unfortunately, Slow pulled up with a freaking Kier's Winter, which is an elemental weapon inside the DFC. With that being said, let's see how this fight plays out. Things are about to get started. Waiting on the referee's command. All right, the fight's on. Let's see what goes down. Orders scream right away. Good little uppercut there. Good metal rods get through for Ghosty. Why the fuck are people fighting at the side? Good order slicer lands clean. Nice little tendrils there. Good crit. Lands the second hit as well. Nice work so far from Slow. And one thing that's pretty interesting in this fight is that these two are guildmates. We were going to give Ghosty an opportunity against a ranked opponent to start off his career. That's freaking combo so from Slow. Yeah, I was going to give Ghosty an opportunity against a ranked opponent, but he still took this fight, although his opponent here has completely missed the division. Nice combo so far from Ghosty, though. Good uppercut gets through. Good judgment from Ghosty. Vents right out of it. Metal ball. That misses. He actually used that to avoid order slicer. You can see with the replay down there on the left. Rhythm advance misses. Good aerial attack, good metal rods get through. Ghosty's doing very good work. Good traps get through. Good jail, and he's out. Wow, man, nasty work from Ghosty. Listen, nasty work.
Nothing on the leader, bro. Yeah.
All right, look, to start off the replay, Slow actually did some pretty good work. He landed the first hit of the crit and then the second hit as well. Got off some nice work so far into the fight, but then obviously that boy Ghosty started capitalizing. He used the traps perfectly, used the metal rods, and then he hit him cleanly with the gel, and then obviously, man, finished that off with a nice iron lance right into the freaking firing line. Got things done there. But look, with all due respect, the finish came from the traps. What was Slow doing here? He was trying to go forward against Ghosty, who used that momentum against him to use the traps, jail him, and then land a clean M1 that puts him out. Nasty work to start things off for Ghosty. Got things done. Let's go ahead and interview him, see what he has to say. All right, Ghost, you just won your debut inside the DFC. Tell me, man, how do you feel right now? And obviously, you had the ping disadvantage going into this. Was the ping playing that much of a factor? I mean, tell me, were you lagging at all? What was going on with that?
I don't know. I was lagging through a bit, but the ping got better. It got better. I'm on 100 ping right now.
All right, thank you very much, Ghosty. Let's take a quick look at the medium rankings real quick. So Ghosty will probably be getting ranked here at the number 6 spot or number 5, you know. Depends on how the rest of the fights go on this card. However, I do got to say, man, Killua is only ranked at medium because he was formerly a champion. If not, he would not be ranked. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and move over to the next fight. All right, tail to tape action. We got Kai versus Nasty going down right here in the heavy division. Curves Glee versus the First Light. And of course, man, a Tumulus versus a Tumulus because Silent Heart versus Star Kindred. Let's see how this fight plays out, man. It's going to be a nice little fight real quick. I don't know why Kai not standing on the orange, but we're going to get the fight started regardless. Wait on the referee's commands, and then the fight will be on. Death from above, feint. Good little ankle cutter gets through after you use the crit. Nice uppercut, lands clean. Nice pressure blast from Kai. Goes for the shoulder bash, doesn't get it. Good counter out there. Ankle cutter missed though. Revenge, nope. Goes for the rising star, doesn't get it. Good crit. Counters out the ankle cutter perfectly from Kai, man. And he uses taunt right afterwards. Let's see what happens right here. Pressure blast, lands on the guard. Good death from above, but he doesn't get through with it. Good little sky shatter kick, misses the revenge. Good mayhem, right into the crit though. Kai lands clean. Holy, man, I'm liking Kai's work so far. Good rising star though from Nasty. Nice work so far from both guys. Crit, gets parried. M1's missing. Good pressure blast once again. Goes for the death from above, nope. Good revenge, nice combo, good crit, lands clean. Nice work from Kai, man. He's doing some great damage so far in the first, man. I don't know how Nasty is still standing. He got a lot of tanky health, man. Good M1s land clean. Nice little crit. Actually had been used there from Xenasty. Was for the relentless hunt. Good pressure. Pressure blast. Crit gets parried. Good revenge. Good sky shatter kick gets parried though. Ankle cutter gets through. Lands clean. Nice mayhem. Lands on the guard. Yeah, Xenasty's coming back and around. Relentless Hunt doesn't get it. Good ankle cutter lands clean. Rising star and he's out. Wow, man. Nasty comeback from Xenasty. I didn't even try to make it sound like a fucking rhyme. Listen, that's just the guy's name, with all the respect, man. But look, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay real quick. To start things off, Kai, he counted out the ankle cutter in the first round nicely. But then right here, mayhem from Xenasty. What it really seemed like in this fight is Xenasty was bouncing around, just trying to use whatever he had to his advantage, and then Kai would catch him with the crit. That's what happened multiple times in a fight, and man, it was a good game plan. And then after that, man, this is what we saw here towards the finish. Lands the freaking M1, and then bam, Rising Star puts him out bad in the first round. Nice work from Xenasty. Let's go ahead and interview him, see what he has to say, man. All right, listen, Xenasty, man, you got things done in the first round. You look great. Look, what's next in the career, man? You look good, man. Look, what are you saying? Did you feel good in this fight? Tell me, man. What was the game plan? And honestly, getting a knockout like that, your build has to do a lot of fucking damage. So tell me, bro, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good.
Okay, he feels good, guys. I don't know if you can hear that. His mic kind of, you know what I'm saying, sounds a little iffy. But look, with all the respect, man, he got things done. Great win from Xenasty. Let's move over now. Let's take a look at the heavy rankings real quick. So listen, Xenasty will be ranked here inside the heavy rankings. We don't know what spot he'll be at. Probably number 4, depending on how things go. We don't know if Matt is coming back to fight, so with all the respect, we don't know how things are gonna look, but he will definitely be getting ranked inside these heavy division. But yeah, great work from Xenasty. Let's go ahead and move over now to the next fight. But actually, before that fight happens, let's take a closer look. Up next, we got a solid matchup between two fighters who could both break into the elemental rankings. After losing in the first round to his former friend Skilled, Cap decided to make the move over to elemental. Standing in his way is a newcomer to the DFC, Ren. There's not much to say about him right now, but that might be a good thing. The elemental division could be full of surprises, and if you show up with a surprise of your own, you could definitely win. And with all that said, a fight like this could go down in DFC history as something to remember. Can Cap prove himself at elemental, or will Ren have a statement-making debut? Let's find out. All right, tail to tape action. Let's see what we got. We got Ren versus Cap going down here at the elemental division. Listen, Hero Blade versus D Spindle. And the thing is with Ren, actually, he was supposed to be fighting in the light division against Zach. However, the issue with that is that he actually showed up with a freaking Deep Spindle, and now he's fighting an elemental instead, but he's not using the Deep Spindle. So it's pretty kind of interesting to see at the very least. But look, with all that being said, let's go ahead and see how the fight plays out between Cap and Ren. It's gonna be a nice little fight. Both guys could very well be ranked in this division. Let's go ahead and see, man. Nice little Shadow Assault misses. Good Prominence Draw gets through. Nice little Radiant Kick lands clean. Ash Slam gets through as well. Goes for the M1s. Nice Fire Eruption lands clean for Ren. Gets through the guard. Fire Blade misses. Goes for the Clutching Shadow. Nope. Good Shadow Gun from Cap. Impel right into that. Nice guard break from Cap there. Good Rupture. Lands the crit. The referee gets caught in the crossfire. Keep in mind, we are watching with the ref's cam. Nice little Permafrost Prison. Referee got to run away as well. Nice M1s land clean. Yeah, Cap didn't really have the greatest performance against Skilled last time out, but here he said he wants to make a fucking statement out of this win if he does get a win here. But Ren is looking pretty sharp though, although he's taking a lot of hits. You do have to keep in mind he does have the ping disadvantage. And oddly enough, Cap actually said that he would agree to fight in an EU server, but for some reason Ren did not take that opportunity. Nice little fire eruption there. Doesn't get off the Radiant Dawn though. That crit missed. Nice little back and forth action to go. 40 seconds left. Let's see. Nice little Fire Blade gets through. Go for the Master's Flourish. Nope. Restraint misses. Shadow Gun missed. Yeah, a lot of mantras getting missed right now. Crit. Permafrost Prison once again. Good clutch and Shadow gets through. Wayward right into that. Yeah, that was pretty significant there. Right up in the air with the flame leap. Pulls him in. Good rupture. God damn, just fucking slides him across the universe. Yeah, that shadow move is bugged right now. I believe that is a rising shadow. We got 7 seconds to go. It's probably gonna go to the second round here. Oh, that's a veteran move right there from Cap. Use that shit at the end of the round to time it perfectly. All right, with that being said, the round is now over. Let's take a look at the nice little strikes that are going down. So listen right here, 8 for 25 for Ren. That's an all-time low in the DFC. But with all the respect, man, Cap was landing a lot of good strikes in this fight. However, the significant strikes were pretty close in this fight as well. But there was not a lot of good action going down with the striking. With all that said, man, let's go ahead and take a look at the mantras real quick, man. Ren 15 for 26, Cap 21 for 35. One thing I did like about Cap is he was trying to use a lot of good mantras, right? He used the clutch and shadow cleanly right into the permafrost prison, and that was good. However, you know, he's not capitalizing too often on that. He did get pretty low there from Ren. But look, with all that said, the round is about to continue. We got round 2 action going down right here, and round 2 is on. Let's see what happens, man. Good shadow gun gets through for Cap to start things off. Clutch and shadow, wayward. Good crit lands clean to start things off for Cap. Low Ash Slam had missed there. Good permafrost prison once again. Good M1 lands, cancels it for Ren. Why does he keep trying to use that mantra, man? It's clearly bugged. I don't get that. Good crit lands clean. That was a nice crit there. Clutch and shadow rolled. Good shadow gun gets through. Good M1 lands nicely. Radiant kick gets through. Good wayward. Nice combo from Ren. Gets the flourish off. I believe there was a flourish, unless I wasn't. Good impel. That missed, actually. Clutch and shadow. Prominence draw. Good crit. Gets that parried. Eruption. Permafrost prison. What the fuck? Oh, he got TP'd outside. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Good that once back and forth. Good clutch and shadow gets through. No wayward. It's on cooldown. Nice combos from Cap here, man. A minute to go in the round. Good impel, and he's out. Wow. Okay. Hey. All right, we got replay action right here. Cap did a lot of good control. Landed the nice little shadow gun right into the impel after the aerial attack. That was pretty nice. Got the guard break off in the first round as well. And then he teleported, landed the crit nicely. It also hit the ref as well, but he landed a nice little shadow assault afterwards and then used the permafrost prison. Pretty significant stuff in that first round. However, right here, Ren actually had some good success. Master's Flourish got through after the crit, and then he used that prominence draw right into the fire eruption. Got things going, and if he would have landed that Radiant Dawn, who knows if Cap would have made it out of there, man. And look, right here, man, Cap landed the crit pretty cleanly. Got the guard break off. Nice work right there from Cap. Then the freaking shadow gun got through. Man, Cap was going crazy, honestly. And then right here, permafrost prison, right after the missed shadow eruption, I believe. Big ass shadow eruption, and he actually got teleported out of the arena. People should not be standing that fucking close, especially the judges. They don't want to get hit. They want to be able to score the fight. And then the clutch of shadow got through as well. Good freaking ice daggers. Nice combo from Cap. And then finally the finish, the impel. Bro, I don't know what Ren was doing. He literally tried to running attack after Cap made great distance from him, and he got clipped by the impel. Was not the smartest move, but a great one from Cap, man. Let's go ahead and interview Cap, see what he has to say, man. All right, listen, Cap, man, you got things done in the second round by knockout. You looked pretty good in this fight. Tell me, man, what was the approach? What was the game plan, and how do you feel?
It was a good, bro. It was a good.
Okay, you feel good. All right. But look, I'm asking you, though, how do you feel about the fight? How did you feel with your performance? How did you feel? Look, like, tell me, how did you feel in that fight? Not just, like, how you feel right now. Tell me how you felt in the fight, what you think was working for you, what you think didn't work, and just tell me, man.
It was a disadvantage for him. I'm Shadow, he's Flame.
Okay.
He was out of ether most of the fight. He got me in the first round. He got me low in the first round, but time ran out.
Okay, I mean, that's an interesting way to put it. Don't discredit yourself, though. You know, you pretty much won the fight. Well, obviously won the fight. You knocked him out. But look, you know what I'm saying? Don't discredit yourself, man. You know, don't make it he was at a disadvantage, this and that. You took this fucking ether. What do you mean he was out of ether? You took the ether. What the fuck are you saying? Anyways, man, let's go ahead and move on to the next fight. Let's go ahead and get right into it in just a second. All right, let's take a quick look at the elemental rankings real quick. So we got Ends the champion, Killua number 1, number 2 Zach, number 3 Andy. You know, pretty interesting rankings, you know, still kind of the same, right? But now Cap is going to be sliding to the number 4 spot. We'll see how he changes things in his division. We don't know if Andy's coming back. He's probably the one guy that we are not too sure in his career. But obviously we're going to move over now to the next fight in just a second. However, before that goes down, let's take a closer look at the main event. The new Elemental champion made one of the best fighters in the DFC look human. A knockout that came with controversy, but still, he got things done. And starts off his DFC career with 2 wins and 1 loss. He lost to Killua in the second, then beat Andy in the first, and then got sweet revenge in the first round to claim gold against Killua. He now faces a guy he knows well, Zach, the former underdog of the division. He debuted against a guy that repped the number 2 guild at the time, and he pulled off the upset and got things done quickly. We're now about to find out in the main event of DFC 2 if Ends can get his first title defense or if Zach can become the next champ. All right, man, we got the next fight. We got Soy versus Curse going down here at the heavy division. Pretty nice fight nonetheless, right? Both guys guildmates. We had another guildmate versus guildmate fight going down the card before, but now we got this one going down between spin members. Listen, I don't know how this fight's gonna play out, but you know, they heavily favor Soy in this fight, and it does make sense. Obviously, Hive Lord Hubris is a pretty good weapon, and he could actually capitalize by landing a lot of blows in this fight. But look, with that being said, let's get right into the fight. Things about to go down. Let's see. All right, the fight is on. Both guys kind of feeling things out, running around a little bit on the outside. Aerial attack, uppercut misses though. Good shoulder bash. Nice little parries back and forth. The crit lands clean for Soy. Clutching shadow, lands on the guard. Nice little aerial attack. The twister kicks from Curse. Aerial attack once again. Uppercut lands cleanly. Okay, that ref gotta adjust his fucking cam. We're gonna see a lot of uppercuts from Soy. He said he was trying to get uppercuts off against his teammate here. But here's the thing, man. It's an individual freaking competition. You don't have any teammates. Your guildmates are your enemies. Keep it that freaking simple. Updraft doesn't get through. He actually set up the updraft into the jet kick if you actually saw that. Clutching shadow lands on the guard. Nice little detonation proc. And detonation is actually banned in the DFC, but Curse doesn't have another weapon, so we're just doing the fight anyways. Rolls that. If the ref feels that Soy took too much damage, he's gonna put an end to the fight. Onslaught misses. Good revenge gets through, lands nicely. Nice freaking detonation proc on the crit. 48 seconds to go. Good strong left gets through nicely. Clutching shadow right into the uppercut. Nice freaking knockout. Great knockout from Soy. Great fucking work. Great work, man. All right, so look right here. Parries back and forth. Then he gets the uppercut right off. And unfortunately, the ref couldn't get and capture out the full thing, but landed the sky shadow kick and then landed another freaking shot. And then tried to go for another uppercut. Doesn't get it though. Lands the crit clean and bam, uppercut once again. Right into that freaking, I think exhaustion strike, and then he lands another uppercut after that. But then right here, we saw the freaking strong left combo right into the clutching shadow uppercut knockout, man. Great win. Fucking nice win, nice performance from Soy. Gets things done in the first round. Made it look easy, with all due respect. All right, listen, man. You got things done pretty nicely, Soy. You looked very good. You landed a lot of uppercuts. Was that really the game plan? Were you just trying to set up uppercuts over and over and over again? Did you know that was his weakness? I mean, because look, you looked fucking good in this fight. Just tell me, man. What do you got to say?
What'd you say? Yeah. I hit a lot of uppercuts, you feel me? I don't think Chris fought this weapon a lot, so maybe I should use a different weapon.
Nah, look. What do you mean maybe you should use a different weapon? No, use whatever the fuck you would like. Use whatever you would like as long as it's heavy. Look, with all due respect, man. Look, you come in here to win. Look, teammates don't matter. Your friends don't matter. You got to beat them up. But listen, man, great work from Soy. We're going to go ahead and move over now to the freaking main card. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at that. DFC 2 Havoc at Hive Ends versus Zach is taking place here at the Lord's Grove located at Hive. Well, I just said Hive before, but you get what I mean. We start off the main card with 3 high-profile ranked fights at the medium division. We got number 5 Chemo versus Hirasuna, number 4 Lucky versus Dom, and lastly, a deadly fight between number 2 Killua and number 3 Z's. Even with all that said, we still got the main event to look forward to. We got the champion Ends versus the number 2 ranked Zach at Elemental for championship championship gold. This is an absolutely stacked main card, and it all starts right now. Representing the Knives of Ellis is Z's, a rising talent of the medium division. Z's has high elo and chime, and naturally he feels it translates well in the DFC. After a long training camp, he steps up against former Elemental champion Killua. Killua represents Miner's Landing, and he knows that in this fight, the winner could be looking at a title shot against Dylan. But only the future will tell, as Killua said he's planning on getting back to the win column first. He feels that he has all the tools to be successful at the medium division, and on top of that, he feels that he can avenge his friend Dom and put an end to Z's title aspirations. This is the co-main of DFC 2, and it might get insane, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright, we got the first fight of the main card going down. Chemo versus Hiroshuna. Let's take a look at the tail to tape. Nocturne, Purple Cloud, Frost Draw, Flame Charm. Pretty nice things looking forward. However, EU, UK versus that freaking NAE. So it's gonna be a common thing you see in the DFC. There is no server between the UK and the United States. So unfortunately, that's kind of what we're doing right now. However, man, let's go ahead and see how this fight plays out. They're standing on the wrong side. They are standing on the wrong side. Chemo's supposed to be on the left. Look, it doesn't fucking matter. The fight's about to go down anyways. All right, listen, as this fight starts, you, the viewer, have the chance to go ahead and join the DFC. Go into the link down below, join the Discord, and then make sure you sign into the sign-in channel. With that being said, we got 3-round action to start things off inside our freaking medium division. Nice combo so far from Hiroshuna, lands clean though. The Flame Scourge pulls him right in. Chemo is already fucking low. The fight just started. That's crazy as fuck. That shit is so crazy. Chemo does not have good defense at all. My God, I don't know how he's gonna survive any of this. We got 1 minute 28 seconds left, man. I have no idea. He's about to go down right now. Well, I'm not too sure why we can't see Hiroshuna's health, but it doesn't fucking matter because Chemo's about to get knocked out, man. Holy shit. And jet kick puts him out. Yeah, I knew that shit was gonna happen. Look, I don't know what the fuck Chemo was doing, but hey, he took so much damage to start off the fight. The fight didn't even fucking get down to 1 minute. It didn't even get down to 1 minute. There's 1 minute 15 seconds left in that fight. Anyways, man, look, let's take a look at the replay, man. Listen, Hiroshuna pulled him in with the Flame Scourge nicely, landed some nice strikes right afterwards, but then right here, Rising Flame gets through, lands the freaking Flame Meteor, then he lands the freaking Fire Blade, gets through, and then Flaming Servants. It just seemed like Chemo couldn't parry nothing. What's going on there, right? You usually expect the guy with the higher ping to suffer in that aspect, but no, the guy with the lower ping ended up getting comboed more. With all due respect, you getting knocked out that quick is not a good look, especially if you're ranked in the DFC. But however, man, right here, the finish, landed a nice little strike, and then right into the jet kick, knocked out Chemo. Chemo tried to parry too early, and I feel like that's what really happened in this fight. He just tried to parry over and over again when you shouldn't be trying to parry. You know what I'm saying? But look, Hiroshuna got things done. Let's go ahead and interview him, see what he has to say. All right, listen, Hiroshuna, nasty win. Nasty performance. You got things done pretty quickly. Did you expect this fight to be this quick? Tell me, man, what are your thoughts? What do you got to say?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that, if I'm being honest. Like, it was a good fight. It was a good fight.
All right. Now we're gonna move over now to the next fight that's going down right here, right now. I don't have promos made for this because unfortunately these guys don't do promos. Listen, man, we got Lucky versus Dom going down. This is gonna be a nice little fight right here. We got Soul Thorn versus Alloy Vigil Longsword. Listen, man, I don't know who's gonna win this, but look, Lucky is a freaking demon, right? We saw that against Dylan. Although he got knocked out against Dylan, right? He didn't look bad. And then Dom as well, he also got knocked out against some Z's. However, he didn't look bad. All right, fight song. Let's see what happens real quick. Relentless Hunt gets through for Dom. Don't know why he was asking if Bell is allowed. Bell is allowed. Any Bell is allowed that is not Skeleton Key or a Legendary Bell, man. At least right now. Let's see. M1's back and forth. Impel misses completely. Prominent Draw gets through clean. Nice work so far from both guys. Technical fight is what we're seeing. Good crit. Nice little Rising Star combo. Good Relentless Hunt. Unless it was a different move. Nice M1s get through. Actually, I think that was Mayhem, actually, that he landed there on the left side. Nice shots going back and forth. fuck is the ref doing? Let's see. M1's back and forth. Yeah, this is really, like, I feel like every Lucky fight turns into kind of this battle between M1s. You know, who's better at doing M1s? Good rupture lands clean. That's all back and forth action so far. Not Relentless Hunt. That was an ankle cutter there. Prominence draw. Yeah, not a lot of clean hits landing. It's just on the guard over and over again. Nice hits from Dom, though, as I say that. Goes for the Relentless Hunt. Gets canceled out completely. Oh, nice combos from Lucky, man. Holy. I'm liking that. 40 seconds to go. Good crit, lands clean. Partially gets through, actually. Nice M1s. Prominence draw, good guard break from Lucky. Nice spine cutter. Good shoulder bash. Yeah, this is turning into Lucky's round towards the end. 21 seconds. Good crit. Good rising star. Yeah, Dom is still in the fight, though. Good Relentless Hunt. Good M1s. 10 seconds to go. We don't know what these guys' HP are looking like. Crit. Nope. 3 seconds. And the round's over. Yeah, nice work so far from both guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats real quick. So, Lucky landed 20 for 41, 42 for 68 for Dom. Of course, you know, Silent Heart, things aren't counted as mantras, so they just go into strikes automatically. So that's why he landed so much. And yeah, with all that said, man, the strikes are looking pretty competitive. But I did want to talk about the mantras real quick, man. So listen, right here, we saw Lucky land a clean amount of mantras. I don't know why it showed a crit, but look, man, he landed a friggin' shoulder bash clean. Actually didn't land clean, but he landed a lot of good mantras in this fight. We saw that prominence draw as well, you know, stuff like that. Anyways, with that said, that's enough yapping. Let's get right into round number 2, which is about to start right now, man. Let's see, let's see. Relentless Hunt, good prediction. We saw that try to be used there from Lucky in the first round, but he didn't get it off, as you can see on the left side. Let's go back and forth. M1's crit lands clean. Doesn't land that clean, though. Just partially landed on the guard. Get M1's. M1 gets rolled there. And one thing I'm very surprised about with Dom is he's not jumping around as much as, you know, how normal Silent Hearts kind of do. We see a lot more of a stylized approach where he's trying to go for a technical type of fight here with Lucky, which I don't really think is the smartest choice. I feel like Lucky's more technical here in this fight as well. Good freaking Master's Flourish gets through, though. Oh, nice combos, man. Prominence draw misses, though. Good crit lands clean. Impel. Nope. And yeah, like I said, I think Dom should try to make it more chaotic than what he's doing here. Lucky's main thing is making a fight very technical and winning off of that. Yeah, that kind of hits the referee there. Prediction had missed. Look at M1's back and forth. Nice combo here. Prominence jaw rolled. Good crit from Lucky there. Lands clean. Nearly lands clean. He should use Rupture. Okay, Rupture being used now.
Ooh, combos.
Good M1s get through. Freaking restrain.
Ooh. Nice
combo from Lucky, man. He's capitalizing right now. Relentless Hunt doesn't get through. Or Mayhem, whatever it was. Nice work from Lucky here.
Teamwork on this. Come on.
Prominence draw. Good M1s back and forth. Good freaking spine cutter. Nice combo from Lucky, man. He's landing some good shots right here. 12 seconds. Running attack. Good Rupture. Good crit. And he's out. Wow.
He gets the knockout.
Nasty work from Lucky, man. Nasty freaking work. He got things done nicely. Hey, man. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay real quick. That was a pretty good fight. So listen, he tried his prediction, gets caught by the Relentless Hunt. Rising Star gets through, lands clean for Dom. However, he didn't really land anything else after that. And then right here, we saw a freaking nice combo from Dom. He landed a freaking spine cutter right into the attack, and then bam, Rising Star. However, right here, we saw absolutely good work, right? Lucky lands a clean prominence draw, gets the guard break, good spine cutter afterwards. Then he goes for the shoulder bash, lands that clean, and then he tries to capitalize on impel but gets caught. And then right here, clean prediction towards the start of the round. I believe this was round 2, if I'm not mistaken. And then bam, prominence draw misses though. However, let's take a look at the finish real quick. So right here, he landed a nice flurry, nice little combos, man. Great shit, right? And then Dom, what did he do? He's tried to circle in. Actually, no, he tried the aerial attack in. Then he gets caught and capitalized with the rupture. And bam, crit lands clean, and he's already out bad, man.
Do you want me to not use launchers? Like, what do you mean? I hold a 1, 2, 3. What do you?
Hey, bro. Hey, man. Hey, man. We got a winner or loser here.
All right, listen, Lucky, man, you look good in this fight, right? There was obviously some complaints from your opponent afterwards, right? I didn't get to capitalize on hearing everything because some of it did get cut out. I was kind of looking at the side. But listen, man, you did very well, right? You knocked out your opponent in the second round. However, the first round was a little bit shaky, right? You did get hit quite a bit, but you started coming back towards the end. Tell me, man, how did you feel in that round? And obviously, how do you feel now with a win once again? I mean, well, why am I saying once again? You didn't win your last fight. But look, with all due respect, man, what do you got to say in response to all that?
I mean, it's all the nerves, you know. First round, I was down. I was panicking. Thankfully, I survived. I want to thank Skilled. I want to thank Cap. I want to thank Chain Warden.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Obviously, you want to thank all your teammates and all that. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, man, I do got to ask you, do you want to rematch Dylan in the future? Is that something you're looking at? Or do you not have any goal in mind? You just want to get a fight?
I mean, I don't care. I'm just here to fight.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Anyways, we're going to move over now to the next freaking fight in just a second. However, before that happens, let's take a closer look at the co-main of DFC 2. There was a lot of shit talking back and forth. Killua claims to have 5-bar Z's during a gank, and Z said he'll whoop his ass in response and 5-bar him instead to get revenge. But that's not the full picture. After the events of DFC 1, these two have been very vocal about wanting to destroy one another. The question here is who can get the last laugh? Will it be the rising talent in the medium division or the man who was formerly a champion at Elemental? We're about to find out, because this is the DFC's co-main event of DFC 2. And it's about to start right now. All right, DFC 2 co-main, tail to tape, 2 versus 3. Listen, man, hey, man, there's a lot of shit talking back and forth between these guys. Look, I do think, with all due respect, there's gonna be a nice little fight. I'm not too sure what the odds makers are smoking on. I don't think that anybody should be a favorite in this fight. This shit is like a 50-50. However, I will say the pain difference is a big issue, obviously. However, Killua has shown before that he can win against NA players, and good ones at that. So we'll see how that plays out here in this fight. So yeah, and obviously it's coming off of that loss to Ends. Maybe he'll come back and get things done in this fight. But Z's is looking good though. Let's see. Both guys having a little bit of a patient approach there. Good win passage. Judgment right away. And mind you, if the referee feels someone may get auto grip, he will step in. The prominent draw. SM1s. Very slow fight so far, but hey, Z's is handily piecing them up. Missed that twister kicks there. Good freaking champion world throw from Z's. Thanks to that Judgment. And Judgment lands there. Nice work. Good shoulder bash. Good freaking Astro win gets through. Nice combos from Z's, man. He's going crazy. Killua has had very little in response to this. Not parrying too often. Maybe it's the ping. Who knows? Back and forth action here. Good flash draw strike gets through. Good prominence draw. Good crit lands clean. And the thing is too, he also said he 5-bar Z's in his own servers. He was saying he 5-bar Z's inside NA servers. So hey, let's see. Z's right now is handily dominating the fight. Good crit. Yeah, right now Z's he's just making it a one-sided fight, which is why. Oh, and he's dead. Okay. What the fuck? Ref, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Wow. Wow, man. Look, I ain't even trying to be that guy, right? Because look, Killua was good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. He's really good. He's like really fucking good at this game. However, man, the referee was supposed to step in. He's supposed to step in. Anyways, listen, bro. These fucking loot goblins, man. God damn, bro. Let a man rest. Listen, you're not supposed to kill your opponent in the DFC. However, you know, he was dominating majority of the fight. You know, and he got things done. Not the greatest performance from Killua, but let's take a look at the replay. Let's just take a look at the replay. From what we saw is we saw Judgment get landed multiple times, right? He was capitalizing off of that, landing clean combos pretty patiently throughout the fight, right? He was taking his time, making Killua pick his poison every time he went forward and tried to swing. And one thing that Killua was doing a lot is just trying to air swing. I don't know what the hell the approach was in this fight, what he was trying to do, but it just didn't work, right? Z's completely outmaneuvered him, outplayed him, and landed the Astral Wind clean right there, right into the freaking Lord Slice combo. It was great, right? And then right here, we saw the finish, got the submission with the Judgment, got him out of there in the first. Listen, Z's, man, you won pretty handily. You basically dominated every single aspect of the fight. Killua honestly had no success. And you made it, look, I don't even want to look, I'm not here to disrespect Killua. Killua, I'm not here to disrespect you. But look, listen, man, you made it look easy. So tell me, how do you feel after the performance? What's next in the career? Because you could be arguably looking for a title shot after that. Okay, there's no response from Z. Hey, very common things to say after you kill somebody. Listen, man, he got things done. Very good work from Z. He just fucking annihilated somebody in the freaking, and the thing he has nothing to say but Sigma. Hey, man, look, he got things done. He won, and he's gonna be fighting maybe the champion soon. A good win from Z's, man. Great fucking performance. All right, well, that was a very one-sided fight, one-sided performance. However, we now have the main event going down, which unfortunately is going to be getting canceled. Well, you see, Zach has pulled out of the fight on short notice. He has actually no-showed. I shouldn't say pulled out of the fight. He didn't even show up. But look, man, with that being said, Ends now will be fighting somebody else. So let's take a closer look at that. Stepping up after just knocking out Ren in the second round is a man that could make history, becoming the first fighter to fight twice on a DFC pay-per-view and win. Cap is looking to win championship gold. No one else stepped up to the plate, fearing the champ's presence and feeling they don't have a good shot at beating him. Cap is taking the risk, and he wants to go down in history as the best to ever do it. However, will that be the case? Only time will tell. What I do know is that this is a completely different fight. Will Cap rise to the occasion, or will Ends walk away with the gold still in his hands? This is the new main event of DFC 2, and we're about to find out right now. Our tail to tape action. By the way, I put together that promo in like 2 seconds. Unfortunately, I had a very good promo for the Ends versus Zach fight, but I can't even use it because Zach is not here. However, man, we got a very nice fight right here. The first fighter to fight twice on a pay-per-view. Very nice things from Cap. He didn't have to step up to this fight, but the odds makers believe that Ends is a fucking crazy favorite in this fight, and I don't blame him. I mean, the guy's dangerous. He's having a whole different approach in this fight right here, and I'm not too sure who's gonna win this fight, man. Blood Fowler versus D-Spindle, you know, Shadowcast, Frostdraw, Blood Ren, all that good stuff that we're about to see in the Elemental Division. They're sitting on the wrong side, bro. I just realized that. They're sitting on the wrong side. Doesn't fucking matter. Anyways, let's get right into the fight, man. The Shadow Gun from Cap, Impel to follow it. Good M1s. Nice little Permafrost Prison to start things off. Good clutch and Shadowlands clean. Goes for the freaking Crimson Rain, doesn't get it. His Ends, Tendrils don't get through. He's already out of ether. Cap stole a lot of that ether already, man. Great work. And that's the thing too, you had to be able to pace yourself correctly. Ends already got his ether back though. Good Chris, get through. I was about to say something completely different. Good Rupture gets through though. Right into the crit, nope. Good crit there from Ends, but it got countered out. Permafrost Prison once again. I'm liking that Permafrost Prison from Cap. He's doing it a lot. You know, get the separate distance, make distance, good crit. Gets through. Restraint. Impel misses, goes for the Rupture, nope. Yeah, Ends saw that one coming. Ends using his bell, of course. Crit. Does not land. But then once back and forth, Clutch and Shadow. Very high action fight here in this 5-rounder. But Cap has to be careful. He's not pacing himself correct. Good crit gets through. Yeah, it might be over right here. Holy shit, Razor Blitz gets through. Good Ice Daggers in response. 49 seconds. I don't know how Cap is not knocked out, man. Good Impel. Nice little Shadow Assault combo from Cap. Heals a little bit as well. He's got to be careful though. 37 seconds. Crit. Yeah, I don't know how Cap is gonna survive. He's already lost a whole lot of HP. He was not being very defensively sound, man. I don't really like that approach from him. He should have been on the outside more, not engaging this much in the pocket with ends. Good ice daggers get through. Shadow Assault, that missed. Good crit, and he's out. Wow, man. Wow. Yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen towards the end. You can kind of tell. And obviously, Ends was favored to win the fight. However, man, you know, it is pretty shocking to see, you know, Cap not pace himself correctly. He just was going guns blazing, and I feel like that's an issue, right? You shouldn't be engaging like that with Ends too much, especially when he changes up the approach, because usually Ends is a guy that likes to use a lot more mantras in his fights, right? And here he actually used a lot more M1s and crits. So yeah, I don't know what the approach was from Cap, but let's take a look at the replay real quick in this championship fight. Listen, right here, Cap had a lot of success to start off the fight, but he took too much damage, right? He landed the rupture clean right into the crit, but it didn't land though. But he countered out Ends as he tried to use his crit, which was nice. And then Permafrost Prison. And man, he got caught by the Razor Bliss. However, and then right here, we saw Ends land a nice crit. Nice little combos here, Vicious Descent, and then Razor Blitz after that. It was nice shit. And then right here, man, we saw the finish. Cap, he used the Shadow Assault, but then he rolls to the opposite side. Like, look, Cap right here is standing on a freaking different side from Ends, right? But then guess what? He goes to the side that Ends was just on, and that leads to him getting hit by the crit because he tries to cast at the same time. I don't know what the game plan was exactly for Cap, but he was doing good work at the start, but then he just fell apart over time towards that first round, and, well, in the first round. And listen, ultimately, when someone is as aggressive and good as Ends, you have to be able to defend properly, right? Try to get a little bit more passive, right? Try not to engage too much in the pocket, because if you do, you're gonna get knocked out, and that's what we saw here. Great win from Ends. Let's go ahead and interview him, see what he has to say, man. All right, listen, Ends, man, you looked good in this fight. Listen, although you did get tagged towards the start of the round, you pretty much handily beat him towards the end, and obviously, what we saw is you just capitalizing on him not having good defense, right? He was able to parry, avoid some stuff. However, man, you just capitalized cleanly. I mean, tell me, what you got to say after that performance? Because you look pretty good, and he did tag you a bit, but just let me know, man. You're still the champion, obviously.
I mean, it was definitely a surprise, but he fought very well. I kind of lost my cool a little bit halfway through, but I picked myself back up and I started just one fight. Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense to say. However, I'm gonna be honest, man. You don't have to be super nice. Look, Cap did have a decent performance if we're talking about the people who went against you, right? However, Ends, you were winning like towards the end of the freaking round, right? And on top of that too, Cap didn't have the adjustment to take that damage. We saw Killerwoods make an adjustment in that fight where he was not able to get tagged towards the end, but he was nearly knocked out. However, for Cap, he was low majority of the fight, and the reason why is because he wasn't defending himself properly, right? He would engage with you where you're strongest. So I wouldn't say it was really the best performance from him. However, man, you got things done, you look good. But what's next in the career? Because obviously, you know, Zach is a guy you were supposed to fight, but he didn't show up for this fight. So what's next in the career? What do you got?
I would actually like to fight him if he does show his face.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. With that being said, though, do you have any words for him? Because I know you said in the build-up that this was actually the easiest fight. Not this fight in particular, but the fight with Zach. You said it was going to be your easiest fight. So tell me, you got any words of wisdom for him, or just words in general for him?
Get your ass in here, pussy. I'm going to beat you senseless.
That's one way to fucking say it. That's one way to say it. Okay. All right, but now I do have to ask you, what do you have to say to Cap in response? I mean, obviously, you know, Cap he's very good, right? And he could have definitely, you know, had a little bit better of a performance. But what do you got to say to him? Because he did step up on short notice. What do you think he should do for, you know, his career going forward?
Pretty good. A little bit build carried, but
okay. Okay. All right.
If you got a little better at pairing, you could.
Nah, that's crazy. I would never take that shit, Cap. Just saying. All right, anyways, now we're going to interview Cap. You know, you're going to be getting ranked pretty soon at Elemental, right? You didn't win this fight, though. However, you didn't have that bad of a performance, right? You did get tagged a bit. And I'm going to be honest with you, right? Because I'm the promoter of the DFC. I'm always going to be honest with the fighters, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like you're a god or anything, right? So listen, you did look good in this fight. at times, but you didn't capitalize on everything, right? However, man, tell me, what's next in the career? What do you want to do next? And how do you feel after your performance? Tell me.
I mean, it's very clean. First time fighting a champion on that build. Got him to 1 bar. I feel good about myself.
You got him to 1 bar. Maybe you got him to 1 bar. I'm not too sure if you did. When you won, did he say 1 bar? I don't know if he said 1 bar to you or anything. If he did say 1 bar, then yeah, I guess that makes sense. But if you got him to 1 bar, then yeah, you did pretty fucking good. So yeah, you can be happy with yourself. However, man, you did very good. You did well. And with that being said, man, we are now done with DFC 2. I know it wasn't the main event that we were all looking for, that we wanted. However, man, it was a pretty good card overall. We saw a lot of finishes, of course. We saw no decisions. We only made it to the second round twice. And out of 8 fights, they were all pretty fucking good, man. Listen, I'm your host, SG, and this has been DFC 2, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. However, for the people that want to stick around, we have a situation to break down real quick. With the new medium rankings, you may notice someone missing, and that guy is Kaiden. It's not because of performance, but because of drama. Kaiden debuted at DFC 1 getting knocked out in the first round. But that turned out to be his first and last fight in the DFC. Why? Because he was caught hacking. You see, he wasn't hacking on Deepwoken, but he was still hacking on Roblox, which is completely against the DFC's rules. That alone got him banned from the promotion. On top of that, he also admitted to doing it right here.
I was doing that on Squid Games earlier.
And he's admitting it.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, we don't like cheaters here.
We don't have proof of him doing it within this tournament. However, it is still...
No, but once a cheater, always a cheater.
Oh, boo.
It is still...
I know you used JJ Spoiler one time.
He's probably gonna get his account banned.
Never.
But what really pushed it over the line was the morally gray part of his drama. Kaiden allegedly tried to DDoS someone named Curse by pulling his IP and using a booter. The reason why is because Curse had allegedly tried to log into Kaiden's account and doxed him. Well, someone in this group of names tried to dox Kaiden, allegedly though, and I say this because everyone who apparently doxed Kaiden has evidence of him hacking and evidence of him doing a DDoS. So I'm not too sure who's actually telling the truth. I mean, if they did dox Kaiden, why on earth would Kaiden not send a screenshot of them doing that? But moving back to the situation, both guys were in the wrong. Number 1, you should never try to attempt to log into someone else's account. And number 2, you should never DDoS someone. Because if you didn't know, it's actually illegal in the United States. Now, I don't know if there's jail time alongside it. And personally, I don't really give a fuck. But Kaiden is banned from the DFC, and if someone else does the same thing that he did, they will also get banned. If you have a history of hacking on Roblox, just let me know prior. I mean, you're probably gonna get banned, but still, you know, let me know, man. But look, with all due respect, if this happens to you, contact the police, tell a parent, get a VPN, and avoid people like this. I've dealt with this myself when I was younger, and trust me, it's not worth engaging, especially if you're like me, really young and unsupervised on the internet. It's not worth it. If you ever think of doing something like this, don't. Even if it's for shits and giggles and you think it's funny, don't fucking do it. It's illegal. Do not fucking do it. But listen, I'm not here to judge Kaiden or Curse. I assume they're young like me. And honestly, I hope they learn from it and grow as people, because dumb online behavior can always spiral into deep, darker stuff. I don't know from experience, but I don't want to fucking find out. If someone ever tries to access your account, don't retaliate, just block them, change your password and email, and then go ahead and contact somebody, right? It's as simple as that. Do not try to DDoS them or dox them or any type of, cyber fucking crime against them. Just don't. It's not fucking worth it. Anyways, that's why Kaiden has been permanently banned from the DFC. Curse could also get banned, but there is no evidence that proves that he did anything that Kaiden said. And on top of that, I hope that both of these guys can kind of turn things around online and don't do crazy shit like that. You shouldn't be logging into someone's account, and you should not be trying to fucking DDoS them. I hope Kaiden is good, but I never want to see him in any of my servers ever again. The guy's fucking dangerous, and he didn't provide any good proof that shows that Curse was doing the same thing to him.